All right, and we are live. I apologize ahead of time. I don't know if y'all can hear it, but my computer has a very loud fan, and she's working really hard today as I've been doing a ton of editing, so I apologize if you hear that in the background. But aside from that, today we are going to be talking about, if I can press the right dang button, we're going to talk about how to repurpose your ideas. Now, this is something that isn't talked about enough. I see it addressed a bit, but it's not outright called repurposing your ideas. But a big problem that I see is that, of course, not enough people are repurposing their content, but repurposing is a lot more than just repurposing your content. Repurposing is more than chopping up your video and putting it on TikTok and Reels and Facebook. You can also repurpose your ideas. Your ideas are good. And just because you put an idea out there once doesn't mean you shouldn't address it again. In fact, if it goes well, you absolutely should address it again. So let's dive in. So sorry about the cheesy animations. I keep forgetting to remove them. So I already said this. Just because you did it once doesn't mean you can't do it again. This is something else that I am so glad. I'm so glad I put this here so that way I actually remember to talk about it. Just because somebody else talked about it doesn't mean you shouldn't talk about it. Just because you've seen a large creator talk about this or a smaller creator talk about that doesn't mean that you can't put your own spin on it. You can take their ideas. Don't actually take them. Don't be a butthole. You know what I mean. But you can be inspired by what they put out, and you can also create that content. In fact, I recently saw this happen, and I don't know if this was like a direct thing, although I'm really unbothered by it either way. But Think Media recently did a video that said, I paid X amount of strangers to edit a YouTube video for me. It was a good video. It did well for them, right? Well, then Ed from Film Booth did the same idea. He had that as his title. He did the same concept, and he put the video he did was so completely different from Think Media's video that I happily watched both and got different information out of either of them. If Ed from Film Booth wouldn't have seen that and used Think Media as inspiration, he wouldn't have made his video, which means I wouldn't have gotten what I needed from both of the videos. Like, you see what I mean? You see what I mean? So don't get discouraged because you see someone else do well. You can do that too, especially if your stuff is not super time sensitive. Like, I know there are some tech YouTubers, reviewers. So sorry, there's a motorcycle driving by and it is so remote, so obnoxious. But there's a lot of tech YouTubers and reviewers where a product comes out and you only have a very small window to talk about it. You have a small window to talk about it if you have a news channel. But here is the thing. Even if you miss your window talking about one specific thing or one specific item, one specific topic, you can talk about how that topic is going to play into something else. You can forecast based on this right here. I think that something else is going to come from it here. Take those ideas and run with it. Get scrappy. Let your brain kind of run wild, and you may be surprised. You'll probably be surprised at how many ideas it gives you. Oh, these animations. I feel like it's like back in the 90s, early 2000s PowerPoint days with the word art, and we had to have everything doing this across the screen. No? Just me? Okay. All right, so we are going to dive into how to find good ideas. I cannot pace myself to save my life, so I already talked about a few of them, but let's dive in. So find what you've done that's already done well. It doesn't matter whether you are a podcaster or a YouTuber, or a streamer, or on Instagram, or on Facebook, or on TikTok. You need to look at what you've done that's already done well and do another one. You can either do a part 2. You can do a whole nother version of that. Here's another example. I have a vlog channel that I'm working on, and I did a day in the life of a single mom. And that one is actually the one that started picking up some views. And so I recently did another one because in my niche, there's no 2 days that are the same. Single mom life is crazy, but I saw what already worked, and now I know, okay, this is what's resonating. This is what people are searching for, and so I want to create more content around the day in the life of a single mom because it's a pretty niche audience and there's not a lot of content being made about it. So I want to dive into that more. If you are a smaller YouTuber and you don't have, or a smaller podcaster, a smaller whatever, so you don't have a ton of analytics, go through and look at what's done the best so far. I don't care if it's 12 views. I don't care if it's 4 downloads. Anything that has more than anything else, right? Make another one. Dive into it more. Research it. Do another spin on it. Use what you've already done and then do it again. Just add more. This can also be done even if it's been like a month or 2 since you've made this specific video or this specific podcast or this specific social post. Heck, you could post like the same thing several weeks in a row. People won't even notice on social. I'm just saying. Really quick, before I jump off of this one, an example, I should have taken a screenshot. I didn't think about it until right now. But when I first started, not really first started my Twitter account, when I first started taking Twitter seriously, I tweeted a thread about repurposing video content. It didn't really reach very far. I think it got like 2 likes, not a lot of interaction at all, because it was my account was new and I didn't have all of the people, to help spread it. So then a couple of weeks later, I basically did the exact same thread. I broke it up into smaller subtweets to make it like more digestible. And then I did a little bit better. And then a couple weeks after that, I did it again and it took off. It started really building momentum and it brought me a lot of new followers. It brought me a lot of new engagement. And considering I use that as a lead to grow my freelancing business and to get work, that was really beneficial to me because I got all of that growth. I was like, okay, more eyes on this. So even though some of those people don't follow me, they still see my tweets because they interacted with that and then I provided value after. So don't just do a one and done. Do it again and again, especially if you're small. Do it if you're bigger too, but especially if you are small, do it again, wait some time, and then do it again and wait some time and do it again. Because you're always going to have new people and social media already on a really good day, 5% of your following is going to see what you post. So you've got 95% of your audience that isn't seeing what you're posting. So you should be posting it more often so that way they actually see it. But I'm going to get off my soapbox for that. Number 2, as we work through the very fun and cheesy transitions, find what they've done that's already done well. I addressed this a little bit in the beginning because, like I said, I got a little ahead of myself. But find what they've already done and put your spin on it. Whether you're looking at trending posts, top creators in your niche, etc. Just like I talked about Think Media and Ed from Film Booth, he saw, or one or the other saw something, and Ed from Film Booth saw Think Media's idea and then put his own spin on it. And it was such a great video that I loved. He was able to do it where he didn't take Think Media's idea and plagiarize it. He took it, did his own spin on it, and provided more different value for his audience. And he said it in a way that his audience will resonate with. That's the power of paying attention to what others in your niche have done and done well. Because the audiences that I have noticed on Ed from Film Booth versus Think Media, they're very different. The way their styles of their channels are very, very different. They reach a different demographic, and there's going to be some overlap, right? Because I watch both. But the way they do their videos is so vastly different that it's not a huge, like it's not a plagiarizing, stealing content situation if one borrows content from the other because they are making it fit their niche. So with that being said, you can even look at what people outside of your niche are doing and you can get inspired. For example, I am growing my vlog channel right now. I'm getting I'm doing 100 vlogs in 100 days. So I am posting a lot, trying to find my groove. And I was feeling a little bit stuck, but there is a food vlogger that I just love. Amanda Ducks. I absolutely friggin' love her. She's a vegan food blogger, and I love the way that she shares information, and I love the way she does her voiceovers. And I hadn't considered doing that, but it inspired me to borrow that idea and apply it to my work, which then actually inspired me to create certain videos that will match this format. So that way, we are on completely different ends of the spectrum. She lives with a roommate. She's got no kids. She's single, as far as I know, and not my business, but as far as she says in the videos. Versus the single mom, work from home, insane chaos, right? So there's it's not like there's a competition, but I was able to see what she did in her niche and apply it to me in my single mom vlog niche. Get inspired, get excited for what they are, they're posting. Sorry, my dad texted me and he has my son, so I apologize for being quiet there for a second. But okay, FAQs. This right here. I love it. Oh, I guess actually showing you guys the screen would be beneficial. Haha. So these are things that you've been asked. Every single one of your most frequently asked questions, and I recommend, I seriously believe that everyone should create an FAQ list for their niche, for their sub niche, and maybe even multiple based on different sub parts, right? Like I said, I've got a single mom vlog. And so I can do a top 10 FAQ for what it's like to heal from abuse as a single mom. I can do a top 10 list for what it's like to be an entrepreneur, a work at home single mom. I can share what it's like to talk about finances as a single mom. Top 10 list, right? All of this stuff. And then you do a video on each of those. But Karleigh, I am so new and no one's asked me anything and no one even knows I exist. Make it up. Go into your niche and look through and find what are the top 10 most asked questions. Or go inside your own head and what are the top 10 questions that you had. Go into Reddit forums, look into comments on YouTube videos, go into Facebook groups, look on Twitter, look for what people are asking and or talking about, and those are where you start. One, you can create your FAQ list. I suggest using like something like a Google Doc so you can go in and add, because once you have this list of FAQs, you have content. And then you can repurpose that, you can redo that content again later as you get updates. But allowing yourself to ask and answer questions like this, even if you're new and even if no one's asked you anything specifically yet, this is going to get your brain moving, and this is going to give you the ability to get in their head and answer the question before they get a chance to even ask it. That is really powerful and something that I don't see enough people doing, and I believe that has to change. That's my little soapbox on that. All right, so now we have these ideas. We've figured out, we've brainstormed, we got our FAQ list, we have looked at our analytics, we already know what has done well, we know a video that we want to redo and make it better, we know all of these things. What now? How do we actually use these ideas? One, remake a video you've done before, or a podcast, or a blog post, or a tweet, or a TikTok, whatever. You can literally remake a video that you've done before and do it better. This is something that I fully intend on doing as my skills begin to increase as a vlogger. Like, there are topics I've covered on my vlog, but no one has seen them because there's hardly anyone watching my vlog right now. There's like 12 people. I have a grand total of 1 subscriber, right? Like, it's really small. And I know that I want to redo them in the future, but I don't have the skill set right now. And so I'm building up the skill set to redo them. Look back at ones that you wish would have done better and redo them. Or look back at the ones that have done well and then redo them, like we talked about earlier. Number 2, remake a video someone else has done. So I already addressed this, like Ed from Film Booth and Think Media. They did a very similar video done very, very, very different ways. And again, if you have a podcast, same idea. If you've got a blog, same idea. If your main platform is TikTok, same idea. Remake it. Remake something someone else has done, put your own spin on it, put your own opinions and thoughts. Number 3, react to conversations happening in your niche. So this is something you see a lot on TikTok, where comment sections will get full, creators will respond to the comments, or they will take screenshots and talk about what's happening. That's why there's so much content. Because as soon as something begins to get moving, people interact with it, and then you talk about the interaction, and then people want to give their opinion on the interaction, and then you give your opinion on their opinion of the interaction, and it just goes. Take that same idea and apply it to your channel. Take that same idea and apply it to your blog, to your, I can't think of any other platforms, but whatever you do, apply it to that. My brain just like went completely blank for a second there. React to conversations happening. Give your own opinion, and don't be afraid to give an opinion that's different. And don't be afraid to give an opinion that's different from someone you look up to. This is something that I've really had to process lately as I've kind of increased my network, and I'm now beginning to have conversations with the people that I look up to. Sorry, y'all, my lips are so chapped. I need to drink more water. I'm so dehydrated. As I've had conversations with these people that I look up to, I realize I've got some very, very different opinions than theirs on a lot of topics. Not necessarily like content creation, because if it's like content people that I look up to, I'm not going to challenge their opinion on something unless I have experience in it. And they have more experience than me because they have more results than me. But there's just a lot of things that we see differently. And if we shy away from sharing our opinion because we're worried about what they're going to think, then we're not being ourselves, and we're not going to attract our audience. We are going to attract an audience and create this vibe of stuffing it all just to be what we think other people want us to be. Don't do that. So don't be afraid of controversial opinions. I mean, don't be a butthead about it. You can respectfully have a different opinion without getting, oops, sorry, my head was behind the screen. You can respectfully have a different opinion. You can respectfully share your viewpoint, and you can still respect people even if they have a different opinion than you. I don't know why that's not more well known, and I don't know why more people don't understand that. Well, this is the world we live in of keyboard warriors. So prepare for the keyboard warriors, but at the same time, as someone who was really scared of keyboard warriors for a very, very long time, it's not worth it. Because they are people who don't want to change, and they are just hate watching, hate following. They're just being jerks, and it's not worth your time. I know it's easier said than done, but that is something that we all got to get better at. It's just because the less attention they get, the less they're going to be able to do it. This right here, okay, this does not necessarily apply as much to a platform like YouTube. But in most, or I don't think a blog either, because I know that Google doesn't like it when you like copy paste the same thing. But this is especially true for social media. Like I mentioned earlier, 5% of your audience on a good day is seeing your content, especially right now in the age of short form video, on Reels, on TikTok. It's all insane. On average, on a good day, not average, on a good day, it's 5% of your audience. So if you've got 100 people in your audience, only 5 of them are seeing your content. You've got 95% of your audience that isn't even seeing what you're sharing. This is really important to understand, because a lot of the time we will try to reinvent the wheel, and we want to like provide something new and mind-blowing. We don't need to. If you are tired and you don't want to post something, but you want to stay consistent on TikTok or Reels, or just Instagram posts, Facebook posts, whatever, you can go back at something you've posted several weeks or like a couple months ago and literally just repost it. Just repost it. Because 1, you've got new people in your audience since then. And 2, you're getting your content up. And 3, even if anyone is seeing it again, they're probably not going to remember. You know how much content is being thrown in their face? Think about the amount of content that is thrown in your face every single day. There's a lot. I've seen a lot of posts that I really like. I can't remember half of them because there's just so much. There's so much all the time. I remember one time I posted a picture with a caption on Instagram. It was like right before the age of Reels or something or like right after they came out. And then about a month and a half later, I was really struggling mentally, but I wanted to stay consistent. And so I started, so anyway, getting ahead of myself. I went back and took that post, reposted it with the same caption, same hashtags, like legitimately, I just took the picture and I took the caption that I wrote and I posted it again. And the same, a couple of the same people who commented on the first one also liked and commented on the second one saying, oh my gosh, you had no idea how much I needed this today. Oh my gosh, this really hit home for me. Thank you so much for sharing this. And they had seen it before. They had legitimately seen it before, and I had proof because they had commented and liked it before. Commented on it and liked it before. So even though they saw the same thing, they didn't even register or remember it because there has been so much content. So you can actually benefit your audience by sharing the same things again. And it also takes, on average, and I think it's more than this now because of all the craziness and how everyone's always on screens all the time, but it takes on average someone seeing something 7 to 11 times before they actually take action on it. And so if you're saying something to someone over and over and over and over again, they're not going to act on what you're saying until they've heard it enough times. So sharing it once ain't gonna do nothing. You got to share it twice, 3 times, 4 times, 7 times, 14 times for them to act on it. Post what you've already posted. I've done this with my reels. I will go back and take reels that I posted several weeks ago and I will repost them. And they still pick up traction and they still get me new followers and they still get me new engagement. Just remove the watermark. There's websites you can do that. You can Google it. Post it again. Same caption and everything. Or if you want to do like an A/B test, you can post it again with a different caption. Post it again with different hashtags. So you can make this a testing thing, or you can just repost what you already posted. Don't overthink it. Don't overthink it. Stop overthinking it. Stop it. All right, this one. Stop trying to reinvent the mother-loving wheel. The car already exists. Why are you trying to reinvent a tire? Don't do that. Use what's already out there. Use your brain. Use what is ready. Use what you already have ready at your fingertips. You've got a lot more ideas than you realize. The problem is that you don't believe in yourself enough to act on those ideas. You second guess yourself. And you use the excuse of perfectionism to not put anything out. And hey, I'm preaching to me too. Just put it out there. Stop second guessing yourself. Make it a goal. For me, my goal is 100 vlogs in 100 days. I had to let go of a lot of expectations. I was just like, whatever, I'm just going to put it out there. I'm just going to show up. I'm just going to put it out there. It is what it is. And I've learned a lot. And I've actually met people through doing that. Just do it. Sometimes it will be messy, and that's okay. Sometimes things will flop, and that's okay. Do it anyway. You've got this. Stop second guessing. So if you are someone who wants to start repurposing your content and you don't really know where to start, all of these ideas are so good, but you already feel like you are losing your mind because you're trying to post on TikTok and Instagram and YouTube Shorts and Twitter and LinkedIn and Facebook and oh my God, my head's gonna explode. I get it. But again, stop trying to reinvent the wheel and check out the Content Repurposing Guidebook. This is a complete guidebook where I walk you through how to repurpose your content. The link for this is down in the description, and it is ready for purchase. Sorry, I got like something caught in my throat. It is down in the description. It is very affordable, and it will absolutely change your whole content strategy. You can pull back on your output or you can pull back on your input. I can't talk. And go full bore and increase your output by 2, 3, 4 times. Yes, it is possible, and this guidebook shows you how. So again, the link for that is in the description. If you have any questions at all, if I could press the right button, if you have any questions about repurposing your ideas or repurposing content in general, feel free to comment below. I am here to help. And yeah, I think that's it. There's something else nagging at the back of my mind. But you know what? If I need to, I'll just use that for another live. I will repurpose my own idea once it comes back to me. Thanks for hanging out, guys. We'll talk soon.